Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another day in the life. So I got the girls dropped off at school and it's now time to get in a workout. I'm gonna get in some CrossFit and I'm excited. I'm gonna bring you through today. I'm gonna show you kind of some changes that I'm making to my nutrition, kind of walk you through what I have been doing over these last few weeks and what I'm gonna be doing over this next month or two. It's gonna be a great day, but we gotta get started with a workout. That's just the warm up and I can feel it already. This is gonna be a good workout. Come on. Workout done. Great start to the day. Now it's time to go home, get a little bit of work done, and then we're gonna go to the grocery store later today. I'm gonna give you an idea of what I'm shopping for, what I'm eating now, and kind of how I am deciding what I'm eating. Let's go home. Hey Lily, you go outside? Come on, let's go outside. Just got home from the gym and here's something that I have been doing. Honestly, I've only been doing this for about a week, but I saw a Thomas DeLauer video talking about it and I wanted to give it a shot to see how I do with it. And that is, I've been putting just a little bit of salt in my water after a workout because I have been sweating a lot and to kind of replenish some of the electrolytes. So I've only been doing it about a week. We have this, it's Mediterranean sea salt. Things in there. It tastes a little salty, but not terribly bad. That's not super salty, just like a few twists in there, not bad. And I've been doing 1 glass of this on days where I work out. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about my fasting schedule for the day. I finished eating last night at around 6 o'clock. That's something that I have really been getting into the last week or two, trying to finish my fast a little earlier. Prior to that, I was always finishing eating at around that 8 o'clock time frame. But again, as I continue to improve even what I'm doing, listening to some different podcasts and things, was actually listening to the Huberman podcast, Andrew Huberman, and he recommended that you finish fasting a few hours before bed. So I'm trying to finish around 6 or 7 o'clock. All that being said, I'm about 17 hours into my fast right now. I'm about to get some work done in the online coaching business. I got some check-ins that I need to do. After I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, break my fast, and then we're gonna talk about what's for dinner and go grocery shopping. It's gonna be fun. Regarding exercise, I would like to include some bike exercises. Spinning is really good for my knee. It's one of the few exercises I tend to enjoy doing, absolutely. Also, it's my birthday week, so happy birthday today, actually. Happy birthday on your birthday day. Whenever you're going to enjoy your meal, whenever that happens to be, cake, enjoy those things. And the next day, what I don't want you to do is overcompensate and extremely restrict calories. I want you to go back to just a regular day. What that may look like is if you generally stop fasting at 8 p.m. and start eating at noon, the day after your birthday, if you say you stayed up until 10 p.m., I don't want you to fast starting at 2. I want you to go ahead and break your fast when you normally would and just as quickly as possible get back into a regular schedule. Don't over restrict. All right, check-ins are done, and as I was finishing those up, I actually just got a knock at the door. Looks like we got a package delivered, and I am not making this up. I couldn't plan it any better. I actually just got my kettle on fire bone broth, so perfect timing. Time to break my fast. Ooh, that looks good. It's almost a meal right there. We're just gonna go lemongrass, ginger, beef bone broth. So I am at about 19 hours fasted right now, and you have been seeing me drink this bone broth more and more. And this, I think, is just like the perfect example of me changing my nutrition over time to try to get to optimal. Now, is there anything really magical about bone broth? Well, the answer is no. Bone broth in and of itself is just a good way to break a fast for a few reasons. One, it's always great to break a fast with a protein so you don't have that insulin level like spike if you're eating carbs right after you're breaking your fast. And so it's good to have the protein, and it's an easy way for your body to ease back into digestion. So for me, I'm getting ready to break my 19-hour fast. I haven't eaten in 19 hours, consumed any calories, so the bone broth is a good way for me to kind of ease back into digestion. Now, kind of like with everything, just giving you a quick overview of my plan and what I want to do with my life and health and fitness. I say it all the time and it's cliche, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm trying to get healthy for the rest of my life. And what that means for me, what I really have learned and just absolutely taken it to heart, is every year I'm going to try to institute 1 or 2 healthy habits so that over the rest of my life I continue to get healthier and healthier. I know my nutrition isn't the best, but it is something I am working on, and I am instituting these things when I want to and when I feel like I have the bandwidth to focus on them. So that's why I'm doing the bone broth. It's going to be really good, a great way to break my fast. The other thing that I like about breaking my fast with something small like the bone broth is it really does make it so that I'm making a better choice throughout my eating window. I feel like if I start with a good decision, that kind of path follows me through the rest of my eating window. So I always like to break my fast with something good, and I feel like the other choices that I will continue to make are good as well. So we'll let that get heated up, and then we'll talk about kind of what is on the menu for today. I like that lemongrass ginger. So it is just about 1 o'clock, breaking my 19-hour fast with the bone broth. And then the plan is we're gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna pick out some stuff, maybe for a little snack as well as for dinner tonight. I actually just got off the phone with Carrie, and I think the plan is we're gonna do bourbon salmon for dinner. So I know I'm gonna go and get that as kind of the protein, and then we'll kind of walk through and look at some of the different side options. Now, according to the Lumen today, I'm looking at about 110 grams of carbs, so a decent amount of carbs. And I think what I have been trying to do is to get in more fruits and vegetables, less grains, breads, things like that. But we'll go through all that here in a little bit, and we'll see you at the grocery store. All right, time to get some shopping done. You know where I'm going, Publix. Not just because I used to work there. This is actually the store that one of the stores that I used to work at when I was working at Publix. But I really do just enjoy grocery shopping here, especially if you go in and shop the BOGO deals. It's always a good deal to shop their BOGOs, but I really do like shopping at Publix. That's the Florida boy in me. So the plan was to get bourbon salmon, but it's too popular. They're out. They don't have any. And I gotta come up with something else on the fly. We'll see what they got. All right, so they were out of bourbon salmon, so I went ahead and went with another staple that I used to eat a lot when I worked here. It's kind of a go-to of mine. I got the ground bison, and with that, I'm gonna go grab some French fried onions and cook those up kind of like hamburger steaks, if you will, but with bison meat, so it's gonna be really good. So working on my diet is absolutely something that I have been thinking about for a while now, and it's something that I'm always gonna be improving on. One of the things that I like to tell people is my nutrition perfect? It's not. But if you look back and look at what I was eating 2 years ago, is it better than that? It absolutely is. And what I'm eating a year from now is going to be better than what it is now. I feel like I continue to move in this direction of healthier, and I think by continuing to do that over time, I'm not only going to achieve my goals of living a healthy, active, fit life, but I'm going to sustain it, which is most important to me. So like Oreos, this kind of stuff, I always love to point and talk about Oreos, because one of the things that is super important to me is there are no foods that I say are off limits, because the minute you say that you can't have something, you fixate on it and it occupies your thoughts. And if you tell yourself you're never going to eat something again and then you break down and eat it, for me, that is absolutely Oreos. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a weight loss journey and I told myself I'm never eating Oreos again, but then life would come along, I would get stressed, and I would eat the Oreos. Well, I told myself I wasn't going to do it, and then I did. So what am I? I'm a failure. And what do failures do? They continue to eat. So this time around, I have said nothing is off limits. And Oreos is a great example of one of those foods that I used to love to eat, and when I stopped fixating on not having it, over time, my taste buds have changed, and I've continued to eat a little healthier over time. I don't even crave Oreos anymore. I cannot remember the last time I've had an Oreo, but by telling myself that I can't, that to me is something that has tripped me up in the past. So nothing is off limits. That doesn't mean that I'm going to eat it all the time. I'm continuing to move towards whole foods, less processed foods, and that's just kind of my overall take on nutrition. Is I'm just trying to get better over time, but I definitely try not to restrict things. That is a slippery slope that has really messed me up in the past. The Publix buy one get one deals are always really good. So I didn't necessarily get a lot of grocery shopping done today. I pretty much just bought what we were gonna have for dinner tonight, which is the bison burgers, the asparagus, and I got some blackberries that were on sale. Carrie and I have been trying to get better about meal prepping and meal planning, so that's what we do on the weekends now. So this last Sunday, we went and did our big grocery shopping. So if that's something y'all wanna see in the future, let me know. Again, I don't always film everything I eat in a day. I would say 4 out of 5 days, I kind of film everything that I eat, and then 2 days, I just kind of take a break from filming and from my phone, and it's on those days that we're kind of eating some of the home cooked meals, things like that. But if you're interested in like a grocery haul style of video, interested in what we're kind of planning for the week, let me know. But this is the plan. Got dinner tonight, plain and ready, and this was the schedule for the week. Was Ryan is going to make a video and film it, so we didn't grocery shop or plan dinner tonight. I'm really bummed that they didn't have the bourbon salmon, but I haven't had these bison burgers, these like bison patties, in a while, so I am excited to make those and show them to you if you haven't seen those before, if you're new to the channel. So we'll get home, I'm gonna have a little snack, and we'll see you there. All right, before you say anything, no, I didn't wash the vegetables or the produce. I am absolutely guilty of that. And yes, I know berries are naturally sweet, but I still like to add honey to it. I dare you to try that and tell me it's not delicious. So this is what I'm having for a snack now, a little bit of berries with honey. I'm gonna have another protein snack here in a minute, and then it's time to go pick the girls up, get in some of our afternoon activities, and then come back and I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm cooking dinner. So this one has been a staple around the house recently. Original beef biltong. I got it in a few different flavors. We picked it up at Aldi, and one of the reasons that I liked this is if you look at the macros on it, the whole bag is only 210 calories. It's 5 grams of fat, 1 gram of carb, and 36 grams of protein. So I'm trying to hit my protein goal today. I know bison hamburgers that we're gonna have tonight, that's not gonna be enough protein for the day. So this is a great snack. This is also kind of one of my go-to fast breakers recently. I've only been eating this stuff about a week right now, but $4 a bag. It's a pretty good deal, and unlike a lot of other beef jerkies, there's not a lot of other carbs and other things in this. It's straight protein, so this has been a go-to recently. Again, nothing crazy magnificent about it, but if you like the flavor of beef, which I do, this fits the bill. Good snack. All right, so it's 3 o'clock right now. Time to go pick the girls up from school and then take them. We got some afternoon activities that we're going to do, and then gonna come back and cook dinner. At this point, I don't plan on eating anything between now and when we get back. It'll be about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna go pick them up, and we'll see you here in a little bit. I'm probably gonna have a little snack when I get back.
You smiling?
All right, time for a little snack now and then start cooking dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the stuff for dinner so that the bison can start coming to room temperature, because it always cooks better when that's the case. And then I have a little snack. So we've got these white cheddar, or extra sharp white cheddar cracker cuts. I'm gonna have some of these. This one's been in the rotation for about a year now. I really like it. Just think kind of sweet and salty is the flavor combination. I'm a big fan of cheese and honey, but I'm gonna have this now. There's probably around 250, 300 calories with the honey. Have this in a big glass of water because I am kind of hungry right now, but I definitely absolutely want to have this before I start cooking dinner. So I'm gonna have this now, and then I'm gonna start prepping dinner, and I'm gonna kind of show you everything I'm making and how we're doing the bison. So here's everything for dinner. Gonna be pretty simple. I've got the bison. We're gonna do the asparagus as a side. I'm gonna mix the French fried onions in the bison, and then I got that chipotle Gouda. And then for the girls, Carrie and I are gonna have the bison mixed in with the French fried onions, kind of like bison steaks. The girls, I'm gonna make like little sliders. So I'm gonna prepare their burgers before I add the French fried onions and just make them little sliders, 2 each. And they will eat asparagus. So that's the plan. I'll show you exactly how I'm making it. It's gonna be really good. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna preheat the oven, 400 degrees. That's generally what we cook our asparagus at. Sometimes we'll do 425, it kind of depends. Tonight I'm gonna do 400. And I don't remember where I saw this trick at, but it was snapping the asparagus and they all kind of break at the right spot on the stalk. But when it comes to this stuff, I'm absolutely not a chef. I kind of do a combination of what is easy and what works. But for me, I think that works pretty well, because pretty much wherever they snap on their own, you get rid of that fibrous part of the asparagus. So I'm gonna do 2 bags of this. And then to this asparagus, we'll just add some olive oil, some salt and pepper. I, again, have a heavy hand when it comes to salt, so I have been trying to tone it down when I'm cooking for the family, and then adding salt to it afterwards if I need to. But add some salt and pepper, toss those up really good, get those good and coated. So now this is a recipe that I started doing when I worked at Publix. Because I worked in the meat department, we made some hamburgers that you could take home, and they were like pre-made patties in different kind of flavors. And one of the flavors was French fried onion, and that always looked super good to me. I saw that all that it was the fried onions mixed up into the ground beef. So I started making it with this bison that we really like, and this has turned out to be a big hit around our house. So I'll add the 2 packs of bison, which I used to think this was a pound, but turns out it's only 12 ounces. So it's 1.5 pounds total. And then to this, I'm just adding some Lowry's seasoning. This is where I'm gonna do things a little differently, because I'm gonna make the girls slider burgers. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna form out their 4 patties for dinner, and then I'm gonna add the French fried onions. I'm gonna mix in that seasoning, make sure that it gets good and mixed in. I'm gonna take and actually what I have been doing the last few times that I cook burgers, and I can't remember where I saw this, is I'm kind of making smash burgers. I will form these into balls and then smash them out on the griddle so that more of the sides get like crispy, get that crispy edge on them. This is the first time I'm making sliders though. Normally I'm making full-size patties, so I'm just kind of guessing on the size. I think I'm going like meatball sized for the girls. Alexa, set a 25-minute timer.
25 minutes, starting now.
So the girls' patties are made. Now it's time to add these French fried onions. I'm gonna go ahead and add this whole pack. This is about 400 calories for the whole pack. And if I make, 5 or 6 burgers out of this, that's only gonna be about 60 calories a burger. And then just mix that in. I think I am going to try try to get 4, so that's easy enough. I can just split it right down the middle and get 4 out of that. I can just split it down the middle and then down the middle again. It's the easiest way for me to make 4 even-sized burger patties. So it looks like those turned out well, and with 4, I think what we'll probably end up doing, I may eat 2 tonight, and then Carrie will probably only eat 1, then she'll have 1 left over to take for lunch, and the girls will probably both eat their little sliders. So I get asked a lot on the channel if I would do more cooking type content, things you can make at home, and while I think over the next, I'd say over the next year, I'm gonna try to make more recipes, show more, so that, if you're not eating out all the time, you can kind of see. But one of the things that is like a requirement for me, because cooking is not necessarily my forte, I'm not the best at it, I don't necessarily have the patience for it. One of the things that I always look for in a recipe, I like to say, is I like to have like 4 or fewer ingredients, and I like the prep time to be quick. I personally eat really fast. It's a bad habit of mine. I had it way before Ranger School where I had to eat really, really fast. I have always eaten quickly, and for me, I kind of value my time more than anything else. So for me, I don't necessarily enjoy taking an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to cook something that I'm honestly gonna eat in 15 to 20 minutes. So that is me personally. That is one of the reasons why you don't see me cooking a lot, see Carrie and I cooking a lot. She's working full-time, I'm working full-time. There was a period where I was doing YouTube coaching and working 70, 75 hours a week. Like, we had no time between the two of us, so we just eat out a lot. And I just don't personally enjoy it the most. Now this, I'm all about this. This is real simple, real easy. I love cooking a steak in the cast iron. Asparagus is always a go-to. Anyways, all that being said, give you a little bit of insight into why I choose the recipes that I do choose, and going forward, as you see more recipes coming out of me, that's one of the things that I'm going to be looking for, is something that you can make simple and easy and not a lot of time, because that's what I look for out of a recipe. And then if you just use good ingredients, it can taste really delicious. So these are going to be really good tonight. All I'm doing now is waiting for the asparagus because it's got 25 minutes in the oven. The burgers are going to take probably 10 to 12 minutes with them resting. So when I've got minutes left on the asparagus, which will be here in about 5 or 6 minutes, is when I'm gonna start cooking the patties. I'm about to be making it. Oh. Don't eat those rolls though, you need them for your hamburgers.
I'm just eating peas.
Oh my gosh, that cheese looks incredible.
This is the best burger I've ever had. The best ever. Yummiest burger ever.
There's a last minute menu substitution. Carrie wanted provolone on hers versus the chipotle. That chipotle Gouda was a little spicy. A ton of asparagus, probably my favorite vegetable. Loaded up. That chipotle is super spicy. The bison's delicious. Love the French fried onions in there. It's been a minute since we've made these, but I miss them for sure. I'm almost glad they were out of the bourbon salmon now. So I don't cook a lot of recipes, but try that one and tell me it's not delicious. The asparagus is cooked perfectly. I think sometimes I get in a bad habit of overcooking the asparagus. I think these turned out just right. Perfect amount of seasoning on them. I didn't even need to add any more salt to them. Seasoned really good, but this bison, this is a 10 for sure. All right, so I'm gonna finish this off. It is about 6:30 right now. After I have this, I'm gonna go ahead and start my fasting timer for tomorrow. Right now the plan, because I'm not planning on working out tomorrow, my plan is to do between 20 and 22 hours, just depending, break my fast somewhere around that 4 o'clock time frame. This is absolutely gonna hold me over. I like to make sure that I'm not doing too many carbs, especially on my last meal for the day, because that, spikes and drops my insulin level. So I'm gonna wake up hungry tomorrow. So I'm sure to have just fats, proteins, and some vegetables for my last meal. Finish this off, it's gonna be really good, and start my fasting timer. If you have enjoyed this video and wanna see more, I'm gonna leave another one on the screen here now. Be sure to check that out. And remember, we're not looking to lose weight fast, we're looking to lose weight forever. Thanks again, and I will catch you in the next video.